Hi everyone, this is Brandy. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some things for the journal that I'm working on, my little Halloween journal, with envelopes, with just junk mail envelopes. And this is nothing original, and this is not my idea. I was watching Chelle at the Rambling Crafter, and she actually, I think, got the idea from someone else. So I don't know if we can track down who made the original, but I will link Chelle's video in the description below. The first thing I did was take a regular envelope, and this one had a window on it, and I just cut it down to fit, as this is going to be a belly band in our book, and I've never made anything like this before, but I wanted it to fit on a page like this, so I just cut it down to fit. Now I did have to cut the length of the envelope some, so this end is open. So I'm just going to glue the very end of it, because we do want to leave the rest of it open, because we're going to put a little like a little tag thing in here. So I'm just putting some glue right on the very edge. Get it off of the other paper that I'm going to be using. I did try to be a little prepared for this. All right, now this is going to be fun. I really think so. Now I've already lost one pen. This is my second video this morning, so I've already lost one pen, so I'm gonna make sure I put the pen back in there. I'm going to mark this on the back, because the back you won't see. For years I've done card making and scrapbooking, and you measure everything, and I like this just marking lines. It's a little bit easier when cutting things. Okay, we'll see if we get this right. Get a paper trimmer out without knocking everything else out of my desk. All right, let's see. This one's a little bit harder to tell when you're on the line. Whew. I think I did that a little bit crooked, but we're just going with it. Okay, now, did I forget to mark the length? You know what? I think I did. Or is that it? Let me see. No, I did forget to mark the length, I guess. So it looks like we need to take a little bit more off the side. Just a teeny little sliver. I like this cutter for when you need to cut a teeny little sliver. It works great. My other cutter does not like to cut teeny strips. It doesn't like to cut thin paper. Anytime I try to cut thin paper, it just shreds it. So I do appreciate this trimmer for some things. I will say that I don't think any trimmer cuts straight. None. I don't think that's even in the realm of possibility for one to cut completely straight. Okay. We'll line this up. And we can ink the edges if I cut it a little off, which I'm sure I will. Okay, so here is our piece. Now this will be the fun part, this trying to cut out this hole, because I've never done anything like that. And I really don't know how I'm gonna measure to do it. You know what? I have an idea. Let's see. I have some tracing paper. Let me cut a piece of it off. This is the only way I can think of doing it. If you have a better suggestion or you've done it a different way, just feel free to let me know, because I'm clueless as to how else I could do this. I'm sure someone out there has a great idea. Because sometimes I can come up with great ideas, but usually not at the moment I need them. It's usually like later on after I've already done something else, and then I'm like, oh, yes, I should have done it that way. So I think we can all relate to that, that there are times where you just at that moment can't think of anything. Okay, we're gonna go with that and hope that, now I don't know where to put it on here though. Hold on. we can mark it. Okay, the brain is starting to work. It's starting to work. Okay, so we need to mark this side. And then we need to mark this side because those will be lined up basically with the edge. Okay, we're gonna go with that. I didn't mark the top. That would have been a smart idea. Like I said, if anybody else has a better way of doing this, please let me know. This is my first time making anything with this type of window envelope. Okay. All right, so here's our template, and I'm just going to line it up the best I can with, you know, I think I need to put something white under here. That way I can see better. There we go, now I can see the lines. That black glass mat was not being helpful. Plus, I don't see well anyway. I probably need glasses. All right, we're just gonna go for it. So let's just stab this in the middle and hope for the best. Yes. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I don't remember if I've already said that or not. Mine's going pretty good so far. Just trying to make some choices and get this book done. Put it in my Etsy shop. Hopefully soon I'll get my first sale. I'm just really hoping for it. I'm kind of getting discouraged, but my husband's a good supporter, and he's always telling me, don't get discouraged, you know, it's gonna take time. So I'm trying to listen to him. Okay, that looks super wonky, so it's totally my style. Okay, I did not do that very well. Let's go back and trim up just a little bit. I probably could have taken more time and cut this a little bit better. I was a bit rushed. Anytime I'm cutting something on video, I tend to rush a little bit more because I don't want to bore y'all to death with cutting. That's going to be good enough. Let's ink up the edges of this. I may need to actually add some ink to this. I like how once you have a lot of ink on your ink blender, it just kind of stays damp and you don't have to keep inking it. All right, so let's test this out. There is some white showing. I shouldn't have cut that corner more, but we're just going to go in with the ink blender and go around the edges. That way, if any of the white shows, at least it's inked up. See, there's a fix for every problem, right? If you messed up, there's a way to fix it. There's a way to fix it. Sometimes the way to fix it is starting over, but you know, we can actually like put something there too, just to cover that spot up. We're just going to go with it. Let's go ahead and just glue it down, because I'll just put something there to cover it. No big deal. Not gonna get upset about it. You know, it's just pieces of paper. And any time I spent, it's just the time I spent learning. Now we can get it lined up a little bit better. There we go. We do have some white edges, but that's okay. We'll just go back and ink those up. This paper is not super thin paper. It's not, I wouldn't say it's cardstock, but it's thicker. It's a thicker weight paper. Probably when I took that last little sliver off, I shouldn't have done that. I should have just left it. But that's okay, because it'll look cool with these darker edges. Okay. So I have the little piece I want to put inside it somewhere. I had it. Here it is. So I want to put, this will slide inside it. So we need to cut it off. I'm going to cut it like right about here. I'm going to attempt to make a straight cut. Not too bad. So that is going to slide in the pocket. I may need to cut it a little bit. Yep, we need to cut it just a little bit shorter. Okay, that's gonna slide in, and I'm gonna put a tab on it. And I want something here where it shows through the window. So I have this piece here. Hold on, let me put that pin in. This is a little scrap of paper that was from when I was cutting such out. So I like the spider web and then the little jar with the toadstool in it. So I'm just going to see how big of a strip I need it to be to include part of those things. So let me just measure that. I'm just using the part I cut out. I'm gonna have to erase some of that pencil line. Okay. Of course, the pencil I have has no eraser. That's most of the pencils in my house. I don't understand how that happens, but it does. This is actually an adhesive eraser, but it got it off. So that works. Okay. Put this aside. Now I'll use the other template to figure out where I need to line that up. But before I do, I'm going to round the corners on this piece. And I do see another pencil line on there, but I can erase it later. It's kind of hidden. I want there to be a spider hanging down, so I'm going to use the spider from my Tim Holtz stamp set. Of course, I had it. Now I don't know where I put it. Here it is. It was covered up by the paper. So we're just going to lay him down on here, and then I'll pick him up with a block. I'm going to use this VersaFine because it stamps really thick and a lot of detail. And if you mess up, it doesn't show as bad. So I want the spider to be hanging right down here. There he is. That looks good. So we have a little spider hanging down. And now we have to figure out where to put it on here. So we will use, we're just going to use the template just to measure like this side here. I do believe this doesn't go in all the way. Let me double check it. So it's a little bit shorter than the side is, so we'll keep that in mind. And here's our template to kind of do our side. And remember, that does stick out just a little bit, and we'll line it up. Probably doesn't go all the way to the top either. So we're gonna draw a line here and up here and down here, about where we want it to go. So we'll glue this on. Everybody cross their fingers that I glue it on in the right spot. And I did make it a little long. So first we want to do the side. Set straight. All right, let's test it. Hopefully we did it right. Let's put that in. I could have put it up a little higher. But that's okay. That looks all right. So we're going to add a little extra decoration right here on the outside. I have some, let's see. What do we have that we could put over here on the outside? That's not long enough. We do have these really long word things. Those would be good. I like that. And that covers it up. And then we can actually put something right here also. So let's go ahead and ink up the edges of this. So see, like if you mess up, you can always cover it up with something. So, you know, it's not the end of the world. And then we can put maybe this little, I want to like this little plant. I do, but I just don't like it. Let's see what Tim Holtz plants I have. They may be, oh yeah, they're too bright and cheery. Way too bright and cheery for this. I would love to get Tracy Fox's toadstools. She just did, but my printer is completely out of ink, so that's a no-go. Maybe we just have a moth right here. Let's see what that looks like. Let's put this back in there. But before I put it back in there, I had a tab I wanted to put on it. Y'all, this desk, I lose everything. Okay, we'll look for that in a little while. I don't know where it went. Okay, so I did have a tab to put on it, but you know, this might be a cool tab. Let's see how that would look. Can't really see much of the word. I don't know how much it would be attached. I kind of like that. Let's see if we can attach it, because I like that. And so we need it about right there, which I think would work perfectly. I'll put some glue. Yeah, it's not, I'm making a mess. It's just barely hanging on, I will say that. So from the back, we're going to put another piece of something to kind of hold it on, but yet to decorate it. So hey, let's use this flower that I keep trying to use, because that way this can still be for like journaling on the back, but it can have something to kind of hold that on a little bit better. Hopefully it won't get caught when we're putting it in and out, because of course I just thought about that. Oh, I should have inked this. Oh well, it's all covered in glue now. So we have that on there. Let's put that back. Oh, that does get caught. See, I was so afraid of that. Sometimes I don't make very good choices. Hopefully once we have that glued down some more, yeah. I like the moth. We'll put the moth on there. And then I want something for down here. So here is our, that's gonna make me so mad. Here is our belly band. And yeah, you gotta kind of work it. Let's see how that would look in our book. I have a signature right here. And there we go. So it'll be there, and then you can stick other things in there on the sides. So it looks really nice. I'm really happy with it. Now there's one other thing I wanted to do with the envelopes, and she had done this with an envelope also, Chelle the Rambling Crafter, and she saw it from someone else, and I wish I could remember who it was, but I can't. But I will try to link that video below also. So this one we're going to glue shut. This one does not have a window, but you could use an envelope that did, because we're just going to use the corners. Okay, so we have the envelope, and we are just going to tear the corner of the envelope off. Now you could make it smaller and use both corners. That's why I had glued it together, but I decided to make a big one. So we want it to not be even. So we're just going to come and tear this top. If I can get my tearing fingers to work. Okay, so this you can come back and stick something in this pocket and then actually have it as a pocket. So we have our behind it pocket also. Okay, so we're just going to decorate this. And I think oh, there it is. I'm gonna say I've lost my second pen for the day, but I found it. I need to put some beads on it. I have a zillion beads. I need to make a little chain and put some beads on it. That's the way I'm not losing it all the time. And I'm going to try for this one just to use elements from the scrapbook paper and not any of the Tim Holtz ephemera. I may end up having to, but let me get my scrapbook paper scraps out. One thing it had on the scrapbook paper was a page that had strips that you could cut. So these were the strips. There was a whole bunch of different colors and everything else. So I'm gonna try to do something with those, with this. I think I'm going to use one of these skulls, and I'm going to fussy tear around this skull. I like to tear instead of fussy cut sometimes, because that raw feathered edge just, I don't know, it just adds something to it instead of you trying to cut it like directly along the line or something. So I'm just going to ink up around the edges of this. Okay, so we have that so far, but I want to put some a paper or something behind it. So let's see what I have as far as scraps. I have this spider web that I could use. I could tear it down some more. And it doesn't have to be perfect along that edge because it's a second torn edge. So, you know, if you have places that poke out, that's okay. And then we have our skull to put on there, but I want to have a little bit more of a texture. So I have this creepy cloth I had bought from Dollar Tree, and it's just a really loose like thread. It's almost like a gauze, but it unravels quite easily. So I don't know if what it is. It's just a bunch of loose wrapped threads. I'm gonna try to open it without unraveling the whole thing. Let me get some Fabri-Tac. I have it turned upside down because it hasn't been wanting to come out, so now it'll probably pour out everywhere. I'm trying to do a clump into the Fabri-Tac. And we're gonna trim up some of these wild threads we have going here. Now, since we're gluing over that, I'm going to go ahead and still use the Fabri-Tac, which is over there dripping out on my desk. Okay, I'm gonna trim these up just a little bit. I'll add a little extra. Then I want to put something, oh, that's what I knew was going to happen. The Fabri-Tac either doesn't want to come out or it wants to pour out. You know, there's no in between. So I wanted to do something in this pocket behind it, and I probably should have done it first, but you know, I always tend to work backwards. So let's see. I just want to add something that's going to have a little bit of contrast. So I want to use a darker color than what's up front. So I have this paper here, and I'm just sticking it in the corner and then going to tear on the edge. There we go. Let's ink up the edge of that. Now, if I wanted it to not have the white edge, since after I've torn it, I could come back. This is gonna make it probably too short, but we'll try it. And I'm gonna tear away from me so that it has just the edge of the paper color, not white. Okay, and I'm still going to ink it up because there are a few white bits, but not as bad. So now you can still see a little bit of that white edge on there. And you could pull it forward a little bit more, and then we could always tear the extra edges. Just whatever you like. Ink this up just a little bit more. Put some glue on here. carefully stick that down in here without getting glue everywhere. And I'm just going to tear. This corner is a little bit different than that corner, so I'm just going to tear that off. Ink that a little bit. Okay, and then so this would just go in our journal on a corner, and it can be a nice tuck spot. Again, stuff not glued on the edges. And then another pocket here. All right, well, thanks everybody. Thanks for joining me today. And just kind of showing my take on how to use scrapbook paper on some of these other things these ladies have made. And I just hope you have a great day. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video. Thank y'all. Bye.